Reynolds from the Los Angeles Times. I've just crossed the state line a few miles back, and we're at the southern end of Oregon on the beginning of a big road trip. The next week we're going to go up the coast of Oregon, up the coast of Washington, jog around the Puget Sound, and end up at the Canadian border. Anything could happen. So let's get in the car, get a little advice, and get rolling.
Brookings is awesome. It's just crabbing, rocks are gorgeous here.
If you're into hiking, camping, doing family outdoors kind of activities.
I like to go up the Rogue River on a mailboat ride.
Newport, Lincoln City, all super interesting stuff there.
You squeeze on them, that's one way to check if they're nice and alive for you.
If you do like the big city, you're gonna have a hard time here.
Some of the worst waitresses also serve the greatest food here.
The coast, the fishermen, the community, it's the shops, the seafood restaurants, it's beautiful.
Or to avoid driving too much.
Yeah, well, you have to cover ground somehow. I put in about 1,100 miles on this trip, beginning with a first-class sunset at Harris Beach State Park. Of course, Oregon is logging country, but on the south coast it's more fun to mark the miles in dunes, lighthouses, and dramatic bluffs.
They began construction here in 1892, and the house you're in right now is actually the very first structure that was built here. There was a head lighthouse keeper who made $850 a year, a first assistant who made $650, and a second assistant who made $550 a year. Not such a bad salary for 1894, but when the last keeper left in 1963, he was still making $850 a year. I stayed in a hotel with a literary theme and ended up in the Edgar Allan Poe room with a blade dangling overhead.
Today we went up to Manhattan Beach, went skimboarding, and came back here and did some fishing.
What'd you catch?
Nothing.
Once you've hit the northern cities of Cannon Beach, Seaside, and Astoria, that's about it for Oregon, except for one really cool bridge, the Astoria Megler Bridge over the Columbia River.
It's incredibly high up, and then you come down and it's pretty windy on it. You come down and you're basically right on the water for a good 4 or 5K. And there's seagulls floating along, and of course you look either side and just can see for miles.
That's Washington ahead. And look, here are some Washingtonians to guide us.
It's very pristine, there isn't much to it, but it's beautiful.
Standing next to Cape Disappointment, the old growth, the river, the richness, the huge richness of resource.
Have you ever stayed in a trailer before? And you may think you don't have hot water. You have gallons and gallons of hot water. You have to wait for it to come, gurgle up from under the ground. Your boudoir over here.
time for us to put one on, hopefully without screwing anything up. All right, I believe that makes us part of the landscape. Right around here, things got a little bit strange. It turns out that Forks is the setting of Stephanie Meyer's Twilight series of vampire books.
We're here because we love Forks, because we love Twilight, and we went to Forks and Port Angeles and La Push.
And we had dinner at Bella Italia, where Edward and Bella had their first date,
which was super fun.
Yes.
And we've taken pictures with everything. And we've reenacted things.
Oh yeah.
I even asked somebody to mug me in Port Angeles. To pretend mug.
And then we went into the forest and pretended to be vampires with our teeth.
Whoa, we have teeth.
Oh, that's good. Following the coast turns into an impossible riddle once you hit northern Washington. My solution was to take the ferry from Port Townsend to Whidbey Island. After that, you just cross the bridge at Deception Pass. Maybe check out some bikers and dock jumpers in Bellingham. And then, boom. We're here. You're not going to believe me, but this is the border. That neat little row of houses over there, those are neat little Canadian houses. Then there's the line of tall trees in a very low-key way, marking the line between nations. Over there, there's a single lonely Border Patrol vehicle. What does a reporter have to do in this situation? You have to sneak across to see what's on the other side of the sign. Pets on leash. Every international border should look like this.